Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We're here again to plunge into the sources, pull out those key insights, and, well, help you get straight to what really counts. Today, we're tackling a question that, let's be honest, probably nags at a lot of aspiring storytellers. What's the best screenwriting software out there? It feels like this huge maze sometimes, doesn't it? So many options, so many opinions, feature lists a mile long. So our mission today isn't just to, rattle off a list of programs. We want to look at the popular ones, weigh the pros and cons, and maybe uncover something, well, crucial, something maybe even a bit surprising about what truly matters. Because, end of the day, you're the storyteller, the software. That's just the campfire. It helps you tell the tale.
That's a great analogy. And it's so important to say right off the bat, there's no single best software for everyone. It really doesn't exist.
Right.
The perfect choice for you. It's personal. It depends on how you work, your budget, are you working with others, even just your writing personality.
Yeah, some people like it simple. Others want all the tools.
Exactly. So our goal here is just to map out the landscape for you, to kind of distill the main idea behind these tools. We want to empower you to find what serves your way of creating, not tell you what to buy.
Okay, so where do we even start with this software puzzle? Let's kick things off with the big one. The industry standard, Final Draft.
Ah, yes, Final Draft.
It's basically synonymous with Hollywood, right?
Yep.
If you're aiming for a professional writer's room or submitting to studios, this has been the language they speak for, well, decades. And it's really known for making formatting, like super intuitive. You know how strict screenplay formats are? Margins, character names, dialogue placement.
Oh, those fiddly bits.
Yeah. Final Draft just handles all of that stuff automatically. It feels almost like magic sometimes. You're not fighting with a word processor.
Right. It just gets out of your way on that front.
And beyond that, it's got some really powerful tools for planning, like beat boards, think digital cork boards for brainstorming, and story maps, too, for visualizing your whole narrative structure before you even type FAD in.
And what's really fascinating, I think, is just how deeply embedded it is in the professional world.
Yeah.
It's more than just software. It's almost like a standard protocol for communication. If you're sending scripts to producers, studios, working in a TV writer's room, you're almost certainly going to be trading Final Draft files.
That compatibility factor is huge.
It really is. That alone makes it valuable for pros. Now, the main hurdle for many people, especially when starting out, is the price. It's usually around $200.
Which isn't nothing.
No. And while they do update it, some users feel the updates are, let's say, incremental rather than revolutionary. But here's an interesting thought on that. For a working pro on a tight deadline, that stability, that predictability, that can actually be a feature.
Ah, okay. Like you don't want your tools changing constantly mid-project.
Exactly.
Right.
They need something reliable that just works day in, day out. Big disruptive changes can actually slow down production.
That makes sense.
So the verdict on Final Draft, it's pretty clear. If you're seriously aiming for professional work in studios or TV where everyone else is using it, it's basically essential. Think of it as like a necessary investment for that career path.
That tracks. Stability as a feature, I like that. But, that $200, it still feels like a big jump for someone maybe just writing their first script. Is it okay to maybe, not start with Final Draft, even if Hollywood is the dream? Or do you really need it from day one?
That's a really good question, and it gets to a common anxiety, I think. And the short answer is yes. Absolutely. It is completely okay to skip it initially.
Okay.
While it is the standard for delivering a script professionally,
Right.
It's not required for actually writing a great story. What the industry wants, fundamentally, is a compelling story, a great script. The file format is secondary to the quality of the writing.
So the story comes first.
Always. So many successful writers started out using free tools or even just, Microsoft Word. The investment in Final Draft really makes sense when you're actively ready to share that script within the industry's established workflow.
When you're ready to send it out.
Exactly. Until that point, your energy is much better spent on the craft itself, on making the story work, not worrying about the specific software.
That's really reassuring to hear. Okay, so moving on from the industry giant, let's talk about something that casts a wider net. Studio Binder.
Ah, Studio Binder. Yeah, very different beast.
Right. It's not just a screenwriting tool. It's more like a whole production management system. Like going from just a typewriter to, the whole mission control for a film shoot. The really unique thing is how integrated it is.
Right.
You write your script,
Yeah.
and then bam, you can instantly generate shot lists, call sheets, those super detailed daily schedules for the crew.
Production calendars.
Yeah, all directly from the script itself. It's designed to connect the writing directly to the logistics of actually making the film.
And connecting that to the bigger picture, you can see who Studio Binder is really perfect for. It's the multi-hyphenate creator, the writer, director, the indie filmmaker doing it all.
Wearing all the hats.
Exactly. Or film students who need to manage everything from script to screen. Its biggest strength is bridging that gap between the creative writing and the practical planning.
But there's always a trade-off, isn't there?
Usually. It's subscription-based, for one. And while it's amazing for orchestrating production, if you're just focused on writing, like you're deep in a scene, trying to get the dialogue right, developing a character, the experience might feel a little cluttered. Maybe not quite as smooth for pure writing compared to something like Final Draft.
Like it's always nudging you to think about production details.
Kind of. Imagine you're in that writing flow state, and the interface keeps prompting you about scheduling or crew. It can be noisy if all you want is a blank page. It's built for seeing the whole production chessboard, which is great if you need that, but maybe overkill if you're just focused on writing the script itself. So, our take on Studio Binder. Best for those who really need to link script writing directly to production management, managing the whole project life cycle.
Gotcha. I can definitely see how that might pull you out of the creative zone if you're just trying to write. So, if Studio Binder is for the project manager type, what about something focused on teamwork, maybe without all the production stuff, and easier on the wallet? Which brings us to Celtx.
Celtx, right. Another popular one, especially for collaboration.
Yeah, it's primarily cloud-based. That's its big thing.
Yeah.
It lets teams work together on the same script in real time.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, imagine writing partners or a small indie team all jumping into the same document. It's got a clean look, good formatting tools, and it does include some production planning features. Maybe not as deep as Studio Binder, but they're there.
And the cost is a big factor.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's usually a more affordable monthly subscription compared to Final Draft's upfront cost.
And this brings up that important balance again, doesn't it? Finding the sweet spot between features and just, well, pure writing. Celtx is fantastic for collaboration. Seeing your co-writers' changes happen live, that's really powerful. But some writers, particularly those doing intense solo work, might find it feels a bit less robust for just writing compared to Final Draft. Like maybe finding a specific formatting shortcut takes an extra click or two because the interface is also managing other production elements.
Look at some points.
Maybe. And being so cloud heavy means you need reliable internet. If your connection drops, offline work can get tricky.
Right, that's a potential issue.
There are also, always considerations about having your work entirely in the cloud, though Celtx obviously takes security seriously. So the takeaway for Celtx, it's really strong for students, indie teams, anyone needing solid collaboration without that big Final Draft price tag.
Yeah.
It's a cost-effective way to get a team working together.
Makes sense. It sounds like a great option for groups just starting out.
Right.
But let's face it, everybody loves free stuff.
Oh.
And luckily, the screenwriting world has some good free options too, for people just dipping their toes in or trying to avoid spending money up front. We're talking about tools like Writer Duet and Trelby.
Yeah, solid choices there.
Writer Duet has a pretty generous free plan, right?
Yeah.
Which you write a few scripts. It's cloud-based, like Celtx, good starting point for beginners, surprisingly capable for free.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's Trelby. This one is completely free, forever, open source.
Very lightweight.
Yeah, super lightweight. Maybe not flashy, but it gives you really clean, distraction-free space just to write. No frills, just gets the job done.
And these free options, they loop us right back to the main point we started with.
Huh?
Our verdict on these free tools is simple. They are perfect for beginners, hobbyists, anyone writing that first script without wanting to spend any money. And they prove something vital, something Angelo Ford noted in our source material. He said, it's completely possible to write your screenplay in MS Word, or a typewriter for that matter.
Wow, even a typewriter.
Right, and that quote just nails the core idea, doesn't it? The software's main job, its only real job, is to let you focus on your story.
Get out of the way.
Exactly. It shouldn't be a hurdle.
Right.
Not financially, not technically. If you're spending weeks agonizing over which software to buy, you're kind of missing the point. The best software, it's the one that just disappears. It lets you write. It enables the creativity. It doesn't become the creativity.
So after looking at all these different tools, from the industry standard to the free options, what's the big takeaway for you, the storyteller listening right now?
I think the core insight is really clear now. None of these programs actually write the script.
Not a single one.
They're just tools, vehicles, or like we said, the campfire. They provide the structure, the light, maybe,
Yeah.
but the story, That spark comes from you.
Precisely. The number one pro tip we pulled from all the sources. It couldn't be simpler. The software won't write your script. You will.
That says it all. It really does. It underlines that the best tool, forget the price, forget the features, forget the industry hype. The best tool is simply the one that gets you writing consistently.
Consistency.
That's where the real work happens. That's where the progress is made. It's easy to get fixated on the tools, you know. Thinking a fancier hammer builds a better house. But it's the carpenter showing up every day, doing the work. That's what matters. Whether you're using the most expensive software or just a notepad and pen, it's the commitment. Showing up consistently, that's what shapes the story.
And that really is the most important thing for any writer, any storyteller. Your focus has to be always on telling the story, crafting something that connects with people, that engages their hearts, their minds. The software, it's just support.
A backdrop.
Yeah, a helpful backdrop that makes things easier, handles the technical stuff. But the warmth, the light, the actual story, that's all you. It's about showing up to that campfire regularly and sharing your voice. So as you think about your own writing habits, your preferences, we really want you to ask yourself, what helps you write consistently? The source material posed the question, what screenwriting software do you prefer and why? Think about that. What lets you get into the flow day after day without getting bogged down? Is it simplicity? Is it features? Collaboration? Find what works for you.
And maybe just one final thought to leave you with on that note, something to chew on. The biggest impact on your writing journey, it won't come from a software update. It won't come from buying the pro version or the industry standard. It will come almost entirely from your dedication, from showing up at that campfire every day, ready to work on your story. It doesn't matter how basic the logs, the tools you're using are, that commitment to consistency, to the daily act of writing. That is, without a doubt, your most powerful tool.
Couldn't agree more. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of screenwriting software. We'll look forward to exploring another topic with you next time.